And today was a bit of a crazy day for me. It started out as a terrible day. I actually started recording a trade recap when I was at 100%, 120% of max loss. And then I saw a good trade opportunity that I couldn't resist. I took it, got me back below 100% max loss. Then I took another trade, and I'm ending the day at a 50% of my daily profit goal. So basically, I dug myself out of a huge hole. My watch list today was Neo, PLTR, CCL, and Plug. And so to jump right in here, my first trade was on Plug. So I have it pulled up. And sorry, let me scroll back on the 1 minute here. So my first trade here is right here. So I took it short. What I saw was that on Plug, we came down, we bounced off, we pulled up, it looked like the $26 mark was holding. Plug didn't look like it could get through here. It started coming back down, and it bounced off yesterday's low, which it had already bounced off right here in a hammer. So it bounced off of that, started coming back up, but for some reason, because of this volume here, I decided to take it short. I don't love this trade, but I don't hate it either. I don't think I was close enough to VWAP is my main concern here, but it didn't work out for me. I stopped out, and I would say this is not like the worst setup, but I'd give it a C. So not a great trade there. Stopped out, but I was still in the game. My next trade was on CCL, which I'm going to come to later, and that trade is what dug me from being halfway in a hole to being fully in the hole here. But to finish up on Plug, now this next trade is what got me out of being beyond max loss. So this next trade is what kept me in the game. So Plug did end up bouncing up, pressed against this 200 MA, but couldn't really hold it. Came back down, pushed back up. When it pushed back up all the way on this big candle right here, to not get very much volume is a sign that maybe the shorts are about to take control, which is what happened. And we had kind of been in somewhat resting volume, but the only times we were exceeded resting volume was on the downside here. So after this, I like what I see. The volume starts ramping up. As soon as it busts through all these moving averages and gets right below VWAP, I take it short. And really like my entry there. I partial out towards, as we get near this yesterday's high that we'd kind of ricocheted off of, but I partialed out more at the end of these bodies of these candles here, because that's just what level 2 said there was liquidity at. Then I took some more scale outs as we seem to stall around the 25.50 level here. We kind of started to stall out. And so I scaled it again. We came back up, and it started pressing back down. Now, when I'm looking at it with fresh eyes now, I don't think, like, this is a bad area. I did an ad is what I did here. But it wasn't a good ad. For one, we had pretty decent long volume there. We had kind of dwindling short volume. Ultimately, what that did was it lowered my stop out, or my break-even point. So this is a bad ad because my break-even point was just above VWAP. So if I hadn't have done this ad, my share size, I could have withstood this whole situation and then actually gotten in on this move lower here. But it lowered my break-even point, and I stopped out there. But this is a really nice trade for me. Now my other trades, as I said, so my second and third trade, I believe, we're on CCL right here. So CCL took me from being halfway in the grave to fully in the grave. This, you can see the same sort of thing going on here. I don't like this trade at all. So it's short, it bounces off, comes back down, kind of bounces off again, and I took it short. And I don't like this because this is kind of a double bottom. It's showing the 200 MA is strong, and that it's a double bottom in that we bottomed out here off the 200. We tried it again, didn't even get as low, but the 200 held strong. And I took it short, and when you look at the 5-minute chart, it's particularly bad because I basically took it short into the $20 mark and the 200 MA with not much wiggle room below. So this is a bad trade. I stopped out on it pretty bad. Then even a worse trade is this one. So It was long. You see the volume really start coming up, so people are really starting to pile on. It shoots up, and then when it shoots up like this, you got to wait for a pullback. So bare minimum, I needed to have my entry right here at this yesterday's high level, but really that's not strong enough of a pullback. I needed to wait way down here for this previous day close if I was going to take this trade at all for my style. But I chased it, and I paid the price for it. And it was after this trade that I had the nice trade on plug there that kind of started digging me back out. And then I went over to Workhorse here. So Workhorse wasn't on my initial watch list. It was kind of my secondary watch list. And this is my best trade of the day by far. This is what turned me from still being negative to having a nice positive day. And what you'll see here is, first of all, Workhorse was on SSR. It really gapped down a lot in pre-market. And SSR makes it difficult for the stock to go down further, because if you want to take it short, you have to take your position on an uptick. So the stock has to go up at least 1 cent for you to actually take it short. So basically, it makes it difficult for the stock to fall. Now, right at open, we took off on really good volume, hit the 200 MA as well as this pre-market level right here, and just died down on really solid volume as well. But we hit this level, and we weren't able to take out or challenge this low right here, and the volume started ticking back up. And what I liked is that on the 1 minute chart, you see we have a lot of volume. We still have a lot of volume, but to a lesser degree right there. And also we kind of double bottom out, and we seem to find support with all these right there. So as soon as it got above VWAP, what I liked on the 1 minute chart was that we got above VWAP, we tested the 50, we came back down, we touched VWAP again through this really nice hammer, this doji hammer right here, very narrow bodied, and it looked like VWAP was going to be good support. So I got in at 27.10 right here. I was trying to get a little closer to the $27 mark, but still very happy with my entry. And what we'll see here as I zoom out is I proceed to partial out. Again, my partial is kind of, I'm playing level 2 mostly. So on level 2, that's why this is such a big grouping of partials right here. Is on level 2, the 2740 mark was important. There's a lot of liquidity there. So I got some good partials here, and then it started coming back on me. I went ahead and took some more profit right there for a little bit of security. Wanted to add a little bit more to my pocket. And after this partial, my day was already green now. I had completely dug myself out of the hole. And I kind of hung around, and I just felt like even though the volume was upticking as it was coming down, maybe it was SSR, maybe it was just enough people wanting to go long, but it just didn't have it enough in it. So I liked the fact that my break even was going to be below this 50 MA the whole time. I went ahead and doubled my remaining position right here with an eye on 27.75 area. Because this was a pre-market level that was important, as well as the $28 level. So I did get multiple partials out on the way up here. We got some right there. I got one here, another one here, and then I had to go run an errand. So I did a range order where I had 27.35. So if it hit 27.35, I was going to go all out, or on the alternative side, if I got to 27.95, I was going to go all out. And we hit my 27.95 right there for my last partial. Now it ended up pushing all the way up to 28.36. So I could have set that a little bit higher, but I was out on the road doing my thing, and real happy with the way that range worked out. So all that to say, it was looking pretty bleak. It was a bad day. I was starting my trade recap to say I hit max loss. I was done for the day. And as I was recording that, I saw an opportunity on the plug trade. I took it. It kind of got me back in the game. And then I was able to capture this Workhorse trade as well and turn this really, really tough red day into a solid green day. So very happy with the recovery.